Hey guys, Naz here with another video. In this video, I'll be going over how to play Astrologian in PvP. As of patch 6.1, all jobs got a complete revamp, so let's go over our new kits. Our most used action will be Fall Malefic, which does 5000 potency after a 1.5 second of a cast time. This will mostly be used as filler as we wait for our cooldowns to come back up. Aspected Benefic is our only form of healing. It is an instacast spell that does 5 to 10,000 potency, the closer the target is to 50% or less HP. It also applies a regen that heals 4,000 potency after 12 seconds. You have 2 charges of this, so use them wisely. Gravity is an instacast spell that does 8,000 potency in an AoE and applies a 75% heavy to everyone hit for 5 seconds. This is absolutely amazing in helping chunking down the enemy team and preventing them from escaping death. Astrologian's first novelty is the double cast action. This allows us to use the last spell used. Fall Malefic will reduce the cooldown of double cast by 7.5 seconds, which is half the cooldown as of patch 6.11a. I mostly use this while waiting for gravity to come back up. Speaking of gravity, it now applies a bind. Double gravity back to back is an insane burst that you should always be using this on. If you use this on Aspected Benefic, then it'll apply a 4000 shield on top of the regular healing it normally does. Double cast has 2 charges and you should always have one on cooldown to get the most out of this ability. Macrocosmos is a 12,000 potency AoE attack. It grants all allies in range Microcosmos, which will heal 4,000 potency and 25% of the damage taken in the next 10 seconds. If you're in an emergency and you need that heal right away, you could press the Macrocosmos button again for an early heal. I mostly let this activate by itself for the bigger healing. Our second novelty from Astrologian are the cards you draw. Draw gives us 3 cards which can be held for 15 seconds, so don't feel pressured to use them right away. The balance increases damage dealt by 10%. This is the dream card you want every draw, but let's go over the other cards we'll be getting. The second best card you can get is the Spire. This gradually fills your limit break, which usually results in 1 extra limit break you would normally not get in a game of 5 minutes. Our last card is the Uber. This helps us regen MP by 500. This is an extra recuperate which can help your team survive the attrition war. All cards last 15 seconds, but they only come into effect when you're in battle, so like I said prior, do not use your cards right away until you're in battle as you could end up wasting them. Lastly, let's go over our brand new limit break. Celestial River gives all allies in range a damage buff for 30% and all enemies in range a damage down for 30%. Both buff and debuff lasts 15 seconds, and every 5 seconds it'll be reduced by 10%. So at 15 seconds you'll have the maximum peak at 30, 10 seconds they'll both be 20%, and then the last 5 seconds you'll have 10% left. For this reason, you want to try to save your burst when you're limit breaking and burst as soon as you limit break for the maximum damage output. If anyone watching this just wants to know how Astrologian works, this is when you want to do your damage. As soon as your Astrologian limit breaks, you want to pop everything you have to get the most bang for your buck. With that out the way, Astrologian plays just like your other casters in range DPS. You want to be at max cast range, doing Fall Malefics, and moving in closer to use cards to buff your party. Here's a fun combo I use to help my allies out. Ideally you'd like to draw to balance, but use whatever card you get here. Draw, Fall Malefic, double cast, gravity, double cast, Macrocosmos. Before I forget, let's go over our common actions. Standard Elixir fully heals your HP and MP, but it does take 4.5 seconds to use, so when using this you want to be behind cover, otherwise if you get hit the cast will interrupt you and you will have to start all over again. Recuperate is our only use of our MP resource. It heals us for 15,000 HP on a 1 second cooldown. Try to only use this when you'll get the full value, as MP recovery is rather slow. Every 3 seconds you get back 500 MP, so it'll take 15 seconds to get another usage, which is a long time on the battlefield. Purify gets rid of debuffs and gives us immunity to those debuffs for 5 seconds so we don't get chain status. Guard reduces the damage we take by 90% and grants us numerous status immunities for 5 seconds. Well, there has to be a drawback, right? There is. You get a 50% movement speed penalty when activating this. It's best to use this when someone is trying to kill you and you couldn't escape otherwise, to get the full value out of this and act as a pseudo cancel to the penalty. Lastly, we have Sprint. This increases your movement speed so you could catch up to your foes or run away to safety. If this video brought you value, please leave a like and consider subscribing, as I plan on making more guides for other jobs I enjoy in PvP. Until the next video, I'll see ya!